Okay, I think you can see me now. My beautiful baby. Mwah, mwah, mwah. I love you. So, this is for two men, so let's not get it twisted, okay? If I didn't send you the link, it's not for you. Just saying. I feel bad not multitasking. I'm looking for my trash can. I heard you and I understand where you're coming from, okay? And I want you to know that I heard you. But honey, you can't. Okay, I'll use myself as an example. There's a person, I call him my love. Yes, you're the only one I call that, just so you know. See, I had this all much better prepared in my head throughout the day. When you like someone, under any category, now I must always realize that the only thing I can expect from them is for them to be their self. Now, if somebody is their self and you don't like that self that they're being, then it's your option to leave, right? Just like it's his option to leave me when I said something that he didn't necessarily like hearing. Now, the hard part about that is when you don't see somebody face to face, it's always more challenging to get a full understanding. I don't know if I ever shared this with you, but I had the experience of really liking, I was younger then, falling in love with someone who pretty much led me on for 2 years. And he was always going to show up. He was going to. And yeah, anyway, so I have things that I am trying not to put on the next person. However, we are human and we do that. So that much of life is expected from most people. Not all people, because my brother is not like me. So, in whatever experiences my love has had in his past, and my experiences that I've had in my past, I did not want to make a mountain out of a molehill. So I didn't necessarily want to think that just because I love everything about him so far, gotta be honest, right? That it was necessarily ever going to happen in real life. See? So having said that, and something sort of like, not exactly his words, he has a very secretive job that doesn't always allow him to have the most freedom. So therefore he leads a very private life. I thought that meant that nothing is ever possible. From his perspective, I'm a baby Aries. Of course I know anything's possible. You know, balance is always possible. So I was being myself by saying, okay, well, you know, because he said something very enduring, and it really makes a girl's heart go pitter-patter when a guy says, I want to know what you're thinking. And out of fairness to all the other men that aren't nearly as wonderful as him, yeah, most of us girls know you say that just to get laid. So girls realize that they will say anything to get laid, just so you know. But in our case, that's not possible yet. So I was honest and I just said, wow, I just thought you were being nice to me, pretty much. And happily and not happily so, he thought I was calling him a fake. You see, so I'm trying to not put Jasmine stuff off on him. And he instantly remembered whatever happened to him, I don't know, in his past. And in knowing we all have to protect ourselves from going through the same thing all over again, I understood where he was coming from. However, spiritually, I understood that no amount of begging would make him do what I want and understand where I'm coming from. So I did what I gave my best advice to you to do, and I went and became still. And I just told myself the same thing that I tell you, honey buns. Either it's time or it's not time. And somebody's at the door. I'll be right back. Okay, where was I? So I be still and I say, okay, Tosh, well, he's going to do whatever he needs to do to protect himself. And either way, I'm just going to accept it. I don't have any choice but to just accept whatever it is. Oh, thank you.
I stole yours, son.
You did? Oh, okay.
I don't know what I did.
Cool beans. That's all we can do. Just accept it. If he opted to get mad at me and think that I really was thinking he's fake or not real or whatever, I just have to accept that and hope we can go on some level. So you don't freak out and, oh, please God, please God. No, if he chose to leave, then that must be the only purpose for us being together for a whole month. It's okay if he wants to stick around and see that, you know, when you're in a place of remembering pain, it's easy. That wall shoots up, which is what I told him. Don't let the walls go back up. Please try, you know. And I just think he's going to do whatever he needs to do to protect himself, which is a natural human response, right? It's still all good. All good. From my perspective, of course, I am trying not to make the same mistakes. So when you don't get what you're used to getting from other people, we always have a tendency of saying, yeah, but, yeah, but, yeah, but. And then I have the yeah, but he's not anybody else. So I'll just accept what he freely gives and keep it pushing. And so far he has freely given a lot of himself. I just didn't think the same as him. And there's nothing wrong with that either. You know, I didn't think he was being fake. I believed the words that he said to me. He pretty much needed to have a private life. So I didn't get my hopes up that this man that dreams more beautiful than myself, wow, he does. You know, this man that just rolls with the punches, I could be like, hey, honey, let's go to the zoo today. And he'll be like, okay, well, you know, don't forget to bring the sunscreen. Bring, you know, this and that, da-da-da. You just don't necessarily, realistically, always believe that those people are real, you know. And that reminds me of, you know, a lot of, well, you know, a lot of the men in my past, oh, you can't be real. It's impossible to be happy, you know, as much as you are. And I'm like, no. Happiness is decided ahead of time. That darn voice thing, it just picks up every little thing. So, you know, you just have to accept people right where they are. And I do, and I did. And I understand he might have experienced, you know, a lot of pain in that, you know, trust area, as all of us humans do at some point in our life. No matter how perfect your life seems, you have had a trust issue on some level somewhere, you know. So I look at it this way. It's my fault, since I created him to be in my space. I don't know how to say this and have it, well, it'll make sense to you, my dear son. When you think something's too good to be true, and generally it is too good to be true. So finally, it was really wonderful to have a man sit here and tell you, you really hurt my feelings. Now, I know some people might say, oh, that's this, that's the, yeah, well, fuck all y'all, I don't care. I care about him. And to me, that was so honorable. I mean, how many men really do that and mean it? So I just let him know that I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. I just didn't think that you ever really wanted to be in real life, real time, and not just cyber time. So it's not fake. Cyber time is still real. You know, the words you said, the things that we did, and the places we went together, and, you know, they're all here. You know, where all those memories are, beautiful people and places and things, you know. But isn't that wonderful that somebody could actually get frustrated with you and say, look, you did that. How dare you think that of me? And I thought, wow, okay. He really does like me. Okay. And I didn't do that to try to prove a point. I just wanted to keep myself realistic, because you know we Aries have that bad. I so live in lots of fantasy worlds. I do. I really do. You know, honey, so balance. Balance. Because you can't get caught up in him making you happy. Just like I couldn't get caught up in him making me happy. You create your own happiness and unhappiness. And I would have been really unhappy had he said, no, Tasha, I just think you're full of shit since you think I'm fake. So yeah, now I can put him in another category, right? Yeah, he just got bumped up a few notches, as it were. Not a pedestal. But that was refreshing. It's refreshing to have a man actually talk to you and say what he means at the time he means it, and, you know, all that good stuff. And I believe him. That's really a rare thing, you know. So anyway, my point is, you know, balance. We learn from our past, which has brought us to the you are right now. But I can't be stupid. You can't keep making the same mistakes over and over. And if you watch my videos, whoever this is about, I want you to really think about our conversation today. You know, we can't keep making the same mistakes over and over. Like, I'm not going to get my hopes up any higher until, you know, the tit for tat thing, you know. And I have to hold myself accountable for that as well. Obviously, I'm making this video for me with you. when a person shows you who they are, believe them. So, since I felt that if a person really liked me, they might communicate other than this bracket of time whenever they were at this bracket of time, you know? So if that bracket of time only happened on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and you only talk to me Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I'm thinking in my head, don't you like me any other time of the day? You know? But they're possibly thinking this is when it's convenient, or this is when I have the most opportunity. I could understand that. Now I could understand that. I didn't understand that before. Before you got mad at me and, you know, said, how dare you think that I'm a joke, you know, I'm letting you in. His exact words. And that just, wow. So then I had to stop and look at Tasha and say, okay, you know, whatever you were thinking, coulda, shoulda, woulda, don't count, because you don't should on others. So I'm waiting to see something other than this bracket of time, and I didn't. So I didn't think it was in living color. I just thought it was in black and white. Black and white's not fake, it's just different. Okay? It's just different. It's not less than, it's not more than, it's just different. So I didn't think he was fake. I knew he meant the words he said. So we have an outline. And now he cemented it in color, as it were. Okay? So of course I felt like shit. I didn't want, you know, this guy that I finally feel, because believe it or not, I really don't feel that comfortable with a lot of men in life. You know, minus my brothers, but mostly all my brothers are gay, so no offense to the brothers that aren't. So it was a really honorable lesson for me to learn, and just like you, honey, and your lessons, you know, you guys have been together for what, going on 2 years now, and not a lot of people make it through their first few lessons, misunderstanding, miscommunication, whatever you want to call it, you know. But the biggest thing is he had enough balls to stick in there. You know, he chose to see the good in me, just like I chose to see the good in him, even though I didn't feel understood. I can see both sides because I don't have the desire to be right. I have the desire to be heard, and he's a good listener. I have the desire to be heard so that you can understand I didn't do this intentionally. I was respecting your privacy. I was respecting your wish to have privacy and not letting my girlish dreams get carried away. So, you know, balance in all things. So, honey, I don't think I told you, so he hates doctors for whatever reason he does. And it's true, a lot of them are full of shit. I generally, well, you know, I go to the Western doctor and I go to the Eastern doctor. I go to the Western doctor because of machinery and whatnot, and a little bit of their advice. So when they write that prescription, then I take it to the Chinese medicine doctor, and he gives me thorns and thistles and herbs, and he looks into my eyes, my palms, and my feet, which is just as good as the technical machinery, you know, because your spirit can see so many things that a machine can't. And they've always been right. However, you know, I'm a big believer in balance. Everything balances. Even oil and water at a certain degree balances. Okay? So I want you to know that I love you. I want you to know that I believe in you. And of course, whatever decision you make, I'm going to love you and I'm going to believe in you. You're my son and I love you no matter what. No matter what. I'm never right and I'm sometimes wrong. I don't have the desire to be right and yell and kick and stomp and scream. So I will just accept whatever he freely has to give. That's all I can ask. That's all I can expect. That's all I can do. You know? But I gotta tell you, I'm really happy and smiling big because well, let's just say the balance has shifted. I'll leave it at that. So, sorry, usually I have my little notes taped over here and I was in a hurry because I wanted to get this video loaded before midnight. And then I knew she was coming and anyway, I'll tell you that later. I'll tell you about that later. The important thing that I would like, if I had daughters, well, I have 2 straight sons. Don't ever expect anyone to be how you think they should be. Don't ever expect anyone to do what you think they should do. If he's not giving you something you need to know, then you ask. I could have asked, but I took him at his word that he had a very private life, and I didn't want to be the stereotypical girly girl and say, oh, okay, just make room for me. And of course, one of your favorite sayings, you know, people always ask, so what is love? What is love? What is love? Well, we know love is just like any other emotion. It's an energy form. It's an energy pattern. And yeah, he makes me smile a lot. A lot. He makes me laugh. And yet I know my brother is still true when he said love is a deed that turns into an emotion. You know? So I am happy for you, my beloved, that you are in love and doing wonderful. But just remember balance. You have to learn how to ballroom dance, and you could teach him how to dance like Michael Jackson. Balance. Balance is beautiful. No shoulding. Balance is beautiful. Because you know, if you should on him, then he's going to should on you. And that type of tit for tat never does anybody any good. When you can just say, okay, you know, honey, I want to get married next year in May for between our birthdays and da 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 da. So don't wait for him. You could just say something. And now I know I can just ask. So let's all learn together to just let people be themselves. Because really, you know, I told you before, I have 4 sisters and I have 4 brothers. 2 of them are on the other side. Brothers, that is. And the one real sister, the sister that I do speak to on a regular basis is like me, very commonsensical, very blunt, very aggressive. Is it this or is it that? And then, oh, okay, so here's my other thing I was going to talk about, you know, because we humans trip ourselves up. We say, okay, I'm not going to do it, I'm not going to do it the same way I did last time. So this time I'm going to do da-da-da-da-da. And again, I don't want to put too much energy into that, but when you write back and forth, it's totally different than actually hearing the person's voice, because because we use all caps, that's yelling. Well, it's not really yelling, it's how I see better. Okay? It's just how I see better. So I don't mean to seem like I'm yelling at you. I'm just using caps so that I can read, you know? However, we also know that sometimes silence is just another wall, protection. For some people, guilt. Because if you don't have the time and the freedom to express yourself fully, then that's when misunderstandings start to happen. Like if I asked if I didn't ask, I'm still only taking you at what we have gone through so far. I'm only judging you on what you have mentioned to me up till right now. That's all I have to go on. Okay, so if I'm on the fence or if I'm not on the fence, I'm still trusting myself enough to trust you. And I hope that you would do the same in turn. Never a bad thought. Never a bad feeling. Never anything other than romantic ideas. So, so for the lady that I was talking to earlier, if it's your choice to associate with a man that always has affairs, you have at it. In the meantime, yeah, you need to send a donation because that's a long life coaching session. Why would you want to be with somebody who you've been with in relationship with twice and he's cheated on you twice? I don't know if you're into spiritualism, metaphysics, or whatever, but that really should tell you a lot about yourself. Okay? And I'm not any different. Had my love said, Tosh, I just think you're full of shit. Time to go. Bye. Next lesson. Yeah. I probably would have cried a little bit in the shower. Because he's a really wonderful man. Coming from the 54-year-old womanly perspective who knows that list cannot always be met. However, if I still had a list, he would have had every mark checked. Yeah. But thank God I don't have a list. That's too limiting. He's got a big, beautiful spirit. He's got a beautiful smile. He's got a beautiful heart. He makes me laugh. He makes me laugh so much. And that is the nicest thing. I mean, that's like way better than an orgasm, Because at the end of the day, if you got a mortgage you can't pay, if you got a car note you can't pay, if you got insurance you can't pay, if you had nothing to eat, no roof over your head, at least I would be able to look at him next to me and he'd say something funny as hell and I would bust up and pee my pants, laughing. Then we'd have to go find something to eat. So that is really, really wonderful. And it's really wonderful because I choose to trust myself to do better and have better. And now, with one person, this person, my love, now I see clearer how he thinks. Okay? Not saying I'm going to do everything he expects me to do or wants me to do. I'm saying now I know he's the type of man that I can just ask literally anything. Well, I have so far, pretty much. Yeah, we've talked about some pretty silly things, pretty raunchy things. And he just lets it roll off his back. I like that. I like that a lot about him. So, balance. Just like spirit, just like diet, just like, oh, I lost 3 pounds, honey. Yes. And my doctor, my diabetes doctor, she was so happy. And of course, oh, so my blood pressure was like yours was, what yours was last week or 2 weeks ago. Is my, and she's, oh, it's still high. No, it's just Tasha blood pressure. It's not your standard of blood pressure. But for Tasha, it's just fine. You know? And it was a great day, and I had all the nurses and even the police officer, you know, because when you go to the hospital, they have police officers nowadays, and in county buildings. And he's like, so you're the one they're looking for? Your ride's here. And I said, well, why didn't you say so? He says, because I was looking for you. And I said, well, I'm right here. I'm waiting on whatever the nurse's name was to, you know, print my paperwork so I could go. He says, would you just get out there? So the other nurse said, yeah, he'll mail it. Bijou will email it to you, or he'll call you and tell you your stuff. I said, okay. So I'm running, and of course the outreach driver's there, and he's like, are you Tasha? And I said, are you the driver? He says, yeah. I said, well, come on, let's go. I'm late. And everybody was, all the nurses and doctors were laughing. It was so much fun. It was really a great day. And I met some rocker dude at the hospital. I'm always running into men that have bands. And so, of course, I gave him some clear quartz pendant that I made, and he was all enamored by that for Lord knows what reason, but hey, whatever. I'm just here to put a smile on people's faces. So it was really a nice day. And it's even nicer to get sweet messages from someone that you like. That is just such a nice, warm feeling. Okay, enough said. I'll shut up now. Okay, my love, I think that answers most of your questions. I forgot to tape up the Post-it note, so I'll go find the Post-it note, and if it's not enough, then I'll just make another video. How's that? Okay, I love you, sweetheart. I'm really proud of you. You have far surpassed any and every mother's dreams. I love you. My little Pookie Wookie. My little Pookie Wookie. I see your little blue eyes shining. Sparkling just like a kitty cat. I love you. I'll talk to you soon, sweetheart. Bye-bye.